somehow everyone had a drawer with something in it that was precious. And feel the loss. Feel the loss in a very personal way. They became a symbol for everything for me. A family, a neighborhood, a state, a country. It was all what was not in that drawer when I put it into my car with its address on the back and moved in some sort of dream state through these neighborhoods where courageous couples were dragging wet carpets out of their houses and pulling trees off their roofs. The most utilitarian thing that a house has, the drawer that you organize the kitchen from the bathroom and the bathroom from the bedroom and from the garage and from the workshop. We took these objects and made this enormous piece of furniture that is useless, becomes a symbol in a memorial wall. I felt like each drawer that I took came with a responsibility to speak for that household. How best to memorialize the event was a hard question throughout the process of taking care of them. We can't get our mind around what happened. It's too big, and it's too silent. And now it becomes, as I pass by the houses, and one by one I see an empty lot where a house was, where the drawers were, where that little pink linen was, where the children's shoes were, where the toys, where the broken lamps, where the pianos. It was a city full of pianos. There were pianos on the sides of houses everywhere, all the ivories curled up. And now it's a blank space. The challenge of trying to take disaster and loss, the challenge of speaking of something so primal to everyone is that no one really wants to hear it. And it's so vast. Miles and miles and miles and miles of nothing. The sound of a roach, the movement of, I don't know, a lizard. Just nothing but empty, vacant houses. How do you get that to people? Photographs don't do it, the film doesn't do it. So we thought we'd found a vehicle. Take a piece of this wall and try to execute it so that people could hear the silence. The possible threat that the silence at any time could belong to any of us. The real reason that fired me was the fury inside of me about a country who turned around and looked at us and said, God sent you this flood. I wanted to put up this wall and say, which one of these men, women, and children did God pick out? Were they Christian enough for you? Were they Jewish enough for you? Were they American enough for you? Are they not American, these drawers? It was a terrible place to be that much in need. We were a pretty resourceful gang, and we couldn't find each other. We didn't know where anyone was, whether they're dead or alive. Phones weren't working. All those systems that we hold so precious, all of them were useless. It was an interesting time. We have something like 80 separate defined neighborhoods here with sort of different language and different histories. In this place, we're all together. And I hope the city, it's a symbol of what can happen as it rebirths itself, that all these neighborhoods do form a united piece of furniture with respect for each drawer and what's in it, and yet with some social goals and political goals that hold them together.